What happens when a security guard kicks a young black girl out of a luxury boutique just because of how she looks? He has no idea who her father is, and he's not ready for what happens an hour later. What unfolds next shakes the entire shopping center. Let me tell you something about Saturday mornings. For most folks, it's a time to breathe, maybe sip coffee slow, scroll through nonsense on your phone, pretend the world ain't on fire for just one damn hour. But for my daughter Layla, Saturday morning was something else. That girl, 14 years old, mind you, decided she was going to buy a necklace for her mama. Not a cheap one either. Real silver, little emerald in the middle. Something elegant, thoughtful. The kind of gift that says, "Mama, I see you. I appreciate you." Now, let's pause right there. A black girl dressed in a bright hoodie, hair in neat little twists, walking into a luxury jewelry boutique in the middle of a rich white shopping plaza. In America, in 2025, you already know the script. You've lived the script. But let's pretend for just a second that the world is fair, that a child can walk into a store without being treated like she's about to commit a federal offense. Layla walked into that boutique with her little envelope of crumpled bills, money she earned babysitting and walking neighborhood dogs all winter. Yeah, she's that kind of kid. Heart too big for this cold-ass world. She'd been planning the surprise for weeks, even called ahead to ask if they had the necklace in stock. She walks in, smiles, says good morning, and heads straight to the counter. One of the women working there, bless her heart, smiles back, says, "What can I help you with, sweetie?" Layla pulls out her printout with the item number circled. She's polite, prepared, and excited, in that way only kids can be when they're doing something good. Then he shows up. Mike, the security guard, big guy, red face, eyes that scanned her like she had a bomb strapped to her chest. You know the type. Looks like he's been waiting all day for someone to make his job exciting. He didn't ask her if she needed help, didn't greet her. No, "Can I assist you?" No, "Let me know if you have any questions." Nah. He went straight to, "You lost or something?" Layla looked up, confused. She said, "No, sir, I'm just here to..." Didn't even let her finish. "You need to leave now. This place is not for kids to be hanging around, especially not unsupervised." Unsupervised? What the hell does that mean? She wasn't climbing display cases or pocketing rings. She was standing at the damn counter with money in her hand. The employee tried to speak up. God bless that one brave woman. But Mike was already doing his thing. You know, the "I'm just doing my job" bit. Grabbing her gently, but just rough enough to remind her who's in charge, dragging her to the door like she was caught stealing. Folks in the store stopped what they were doing. Some watched, some looked away. One man took out his phone and recorded. Because that's all we do now, isn't it? Watch and record. He pushed her out onto the sidewalk and said, and I quote, "Don't come back unless you've got someone responsible with you. Or better yet, don't come back at all." And just like that, the door shut in her face. You ever seen a kid try not to cry in public? Try to swallow that lump in their throat because the world just told them they ain't good enough, and they're trying real hard not to believe it? She sat down on a bench right there in front of the store, hands shaking, eyes glassy, still holding the empty gift box the boutique gave her for free before Mike stormed over. She pulled out her phone, stared at it for a long moment, then sent me a voice note. Just one sentence. "Daddy, can you come get me?" I was across town, 45 minutes out. But let me tell you something right now. I made it in 28, and what happened next? Oh, you ain't ready. What happened next changed everything. You do not want to miss how this unfolds. 20 minutes. That's how long it took for this whole situation to go from shameful to historic. The boutique was back to its usual rhythm. Glass doors, soft music, folks pretending like nothing had just happened. But outside, on that bench, my daughter Layla sat quiet, small, and humiliated. Then came the car, a sleek black sedan, engine purring like it knew what was about to go down. Door opens. Out steps Jonathan Brooks, tall, sharp, no wasted movement. Not just a billionaire tech mogul, a father. My father. He didn't rush, just walked over, knelt beside me and asked, "You all right, baby?" I told him the truth. I tried to do something kind, but they decided I didn't belong. He stood, adjusted his cuffs. And that's when the atmosphere shifted. Inside, security clocked him quick. This wasn't no casual shopper. He had presence. They moved toward him like they were trying to contain a situation before they even knew what it was. "Sir, you can't—" He cut them off, quiet but firm. "Move. Where's the manager?" Then Mike showed up, the same security guard who manhandled a child for daring to exist in a boutique, still puffed up with false authority. "I already explained. The girl wasn't supposed to be in there. We're just maintaining safety." Jonathan's eyes narrowed. You think throwing a child out of a store is safety? That's what we're calling it now?" Before Mike could offer one more excuse, the boutique employee, the only one with a conscience, stepped forward. "She wasn't doing anything wrong. If she looked different, you wouldn't have touched her." Mike turned defensive. "Now you're against me too?" Jonathan didn't flinch, just looked at her and said, "Thank you for not being silent." Then he pulled out his phone, went live. The man doesn't shout. He doesn't have to. His voice carries weight. "My daughter came to buy a gift. She was humiliated because she's black. This happens every day. Today, I'm not staying silent." Crowds gathered fast. Phones out. Whispers filled the air. "That's Brooks." "Is this real?" Again, and right on cue, police arrived. One officer walked up, looking straight at Jonathan. Sir, I need you to calm down and step away." He turned slowly, calm but steel in his voice. "You want to handle something? Start by asking why a child was treated like a criminal for shopping. Then we'll talk." The cop blinked. The silence was loud, and just like that, the real story began. This is the turning point. What happens next? You do not want to miss it. Trust me. Justice is about to walk through that door. The police officer was doing his best impression of calm, voice low, hands loose, trying real hard not to look like he was panicking under the heat. But the heat was real. Phones were up everywhere. The live stream wasn't just rolling, it was exploding. Tens of thousands of people were watching. The kind of crowd that doesn't just scroll past. They lean in. They remember. And then came the mall manager. Suit too tight, smile too nervous. You know the type, all friendly until there's a headline on the line. He shoved his way through like this was his show to salvage. He spotted Jonathan and nearly tripped over his own mouth. "Mr. Brooks, please, sir. We deeply apologize. We had no idea that was your daughter." Jonathan didn't even blink. "That shouldn't matter. It should never matter who she belongs to. She's a child, a human being, a black girl who you decided wasn't good enough the second she walked through your doors." Dead silence followed, but it wasn't empty. It was full of watching, listening, learning. Jonathan turned to face the crowd, the cameras, the cops, the world. Let's be honest. This isn't about one guard. It's not even about one boutique. This is about a system that profiles our children, that labels blackness as suspicious before we even speak. And right then, like something out of a movie, the young boutique worker, the one who stood up earlier, stepped forward again. Her voice shook, but her spine didn't. "I've worked here 3 years. And yes, I've seen it. We don't follow the white teens around. We follow the black ones. I've wanted to say something, but I was scared. I needed this job, but today, I'm done being quiet." You could hear people gasp. One lady whispered, "She said it." Another said, "About time." And Mike, the guard? Suddenly, he wasn't puffed up anymore. He was small. His jaw was tight, shoulders stiff. He looked around. At the eyes on him, the chat comments lighting up the stream. The manager suddenly not standing beside him. Then, almost to himself, he mumbled, "Maybe I went too far. I was just doing what we're trained to do, what we're told to look for." Jonathan didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. And that right there, that's the problem. It's not just you, Mike. It's the system you were trained in. The one that teaches fear of our skin before it teaches common sense, before it teaches decency. Boom. That was it. The moment. The punch in the gut. The clarity no press release could polish. By the time the story hit national news, and you know it did, the headline read, "Daughter of tech billionaire profiled, escorted out of boutique. Father's response goes viral." The mall scrambled to save face. Mike was let go within hours. The young boutique employee offered a promotion and public thanks. And Layla? She didn't just get an apology. She stood next to her father, chin high, eyes steady. She wasn't just a kid who got kicked out. She became a symbol, a voice, a reminder. And Jonathan, he didn't stop there. That same night, he launched a foundation called Justice Starts Small, built to protect and empower Black youth facing discrimination in everyday places, schools, stores, parks, everywhere. The video, 28 million views in under 24 hours. But that wasn't the real victory. The real victory was this. Every single time someone walked into that boutique afterward, they saw a plaque above the glass display case that read, "Everyone has the right to be here. Everyone. Always." That wasn't just a father's win. That was all of ours.